be in some green screen. They'd be just spraying water on his face and blowing fan in his hair, but not in the old days. So
the 80s, man.
The
80s horror. That's where it was at.
See, I assumed that he was upside down, like he had stuck his head upside down and they had the camera upside down when they filmed that.
Oh.
Did they say? Like, obviously it's stuck in water, right? But I assume that it was upside down. I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure it was... Oh, see, that's a good point.
Because how would the water stay in otherwise, right?
Yeah. I don't know. There is like some behind the scenes video of like of Savini's of shooting the effects. I don't think I saw any of that in there. That's a good point. Was he upside down? I don't know.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to the next one here. And every time I watch Creepshow, I am surprised that this is not the last one. Because this is the one that I remember scaring the absolute crap out of me watching it. And that's The Crate.
Oh, yeah. I can see why.
That gorilla monster scared the pants off of me as a teenager. And I loved every second of it. So what do you say there, Zach? Or should I call you Billy?
Yeah, so this one had a lot of was it the longest one? It felt like the longest one. I don't know. Do you guys, off the top of your head, do you recall?
I think they're all pretty close.
So. Well, I'm gonna say, and this will show my hand, I guess, right away. But I'll throw it back to you, Zach. This is not a favorite of mine. I wouldn't say it's my least favorite, but like, I think the reason why I don't like it as much as like the others is because it just I'm pretty sure it is the longest one, but it just feels like it's the longest one. It feels like they should have just truncated it down a bit. So I'm willing to bet it is the longest one, and I admit it feels to me like the longest one.
Well, it didn't have the most going on. Like, it had kind of subplots and things, because, Fritz Weaver is like the professor or whatever, and he's leading the charge opening this crate. But also you have his friend Hal Holbrook, who has in this bad marriage, right? He's married somebody younger than him who doesn't respect him and all that. And I loved all the cutaways to his imagination.
She was supposed to be younger than him?
Oh, definitely. What are you talking about?
Okay. I don't know.
That's part of the whole thing. She's like, when's the last time you got it up? All that whole dynamic, right? So it says that to him in the film. But I loved when he was like, all these imaginary things. Like, where he like shoots her and was like, "Oh, good shot, sir!" Right? And, I was like, "What is this?" Because it happens 2 or 3 times, and every successive time, like, did he really do it? And you're building up towards like he just sees this opportunity because he seems like this kind old guy, friend of this other guy, but he's the most evil one at the end because he sets up his wife to be eaten by this monster, cleans everything up. I mean, like, wow. So I don't know. I liked how there was a lot going on in this one. And yes, the monster was it holds up. I think it was a very well done effect. They shoot it just well enough where you don't see too much to like see that it's, obviously it's fake. It's a guy in a suit or an animatronic, but I think it was really effective and really, really creepy because whenever you have like these old, it made me think of like The Relic. You ever see that movie from the 90s? Like there's a case that comes from another country and there's like a monster in it and it goes to a totally different place. But that's what it made me think of. And I don't, how did that monster stay alive in that crate for 150 years, guys? Does anybody know?
Voodoo.
No, nobody knows. Not even George Romero and Tom Savini.
Probably
they don't know. Yeah.
There's a lot that, like, if you sit down and think about it, like, there's a lot of like bizarre plot holes in this. Like the fact that this husband like concocts this elaborate way to kill his wife, and he wrote this letter before he drove to the school and confirmed all this, right? So like if you stop and think about it.
It's implied she's kind of dumb, right? She's like, hey, she's a loudmouth, always drinking, always out having a partying, oh, get your friend out of here playing chess before I come home. As she's the more strong-willed, she's also kind of dumb. That's the kind of the vibe I got.
What I mean is, he wrote this all before he confirmed there was even like some ape monster there.
Okay.
Right? So he's taking the word of this guy who's freaking out in this room, right? So he writes this whole thing. Anyways, but I don't know. I overlook it because, again, it's a short story, it's a horror story, and it's just designed to creep you out. But I don't know, like just, yeah, because you hate the character of Billy so much, right? Like, does she deserve it? I don't know. Like, no, I guess, right? But she's such a terrible person, right? And I don't know, like the other guy is so calm and quiet that it's like you do feel bad for him. But even at the end where they just start playing that chess game, like the guy's like, I just cleaned it up in like what do you like? You can't tell on me, like, because there's nothing there. And it's like, well, I'm sure there's probably something there, but it's kind of it's a really dark ending, and that's what I like about all these, because they're all pretty dark.
But then it escapes at the end, right? It's like you can't drown your problems that easily, or whatever the caption said. I ended up pausing before during the transitions between the stories, right? Because you could read things that you didn't necessarily see otherwise on screen. But Marcel,
the comic captions.
Yeah, that was great. But Marcel, what are some of your thoughts? More thoughts on this story?
Yeah, and just to go back to that thing I said earlier, and hopefully I don't sound like a guy who says, everybody deserves what they get. I said to varying degrees, the people who get eaten by these monsters in these segments, they deserve it, right? And Billy, yes, I guess her crime is just being a loudmouth, right? And I'm guessing she's having affairs behind Hal Holbrook's back, maybe. I think that's what they're implying.
I thought that was the implication as well. Like,
right?
why was she out and about?
Yeah. But yeah, I have to admit, it felt pretty good watching her die.
So the security guards, or the security guard and the janitor, like, I guess the janitor's crime is he just wanted his quarter. Right? That started this whole thing off. If he just let that quarter go, none of this would have happened.
Greed. That's what gets you.
Greed for that quarter.
But then go back to what I was saying earlier about this not being a favorite of mine. I still enjoy it a lot. I love the gore. The gore here, it's the best out of the other ones in this movie, I think. Right, like when the monster chomps, I forget who was it, the student. Right in the neck, and pulls off the skin. Oh, and then the monster like slashes him in the face, and you see that effect of that eye being crushed, and that scarring. Oh, excellent work, Tom Savini. Good job. But yeah, like I think it's too long. Maybe they should have like going back to what I was saying. Cut to the chase. There's a few too many steps leading to the end for me.
No, I did. I enjoy the journey. Right? I think the most suspense I felt in this entire film, not just this segment, was when Hal Holbrook, he's like putting the lock back on the cage, and you're like, oh. Because at this point I'm like, I don't know, they could kill him, they could kill everybody here. I don't know, it's a short story, so anything could happen. So I was really like, oh no, like I know he just killed his wife, but I don't want him to die. So I thought that was really effective, like the suspense, because you've seen what it can do. So it's just he's just slowly closing the lock and all that. I don't know. I really did enjoy this one. I don't know if it's my favorite one. I guess it would be. Yeah, of the five, this one would be my favorite segment. So
this is definitely my favorite of this film for sure. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Awesome. Well, we got one more to talk about. And I guess we'll talk about the wraparound story as well. But we got Zach's other favorite one here.
Oh, my God.
Cockroaches. They're creeping up on you.
If I have a phobia, it's cockroaches. Like, this was... good Lord. Like, I honestly, like, I had to, like, squint by watching this sometimes and look away because it was so disgusting. Like, bugs I can kind of handle to a certain degree, but cockroaches are the worst. And just seeing, like 200,000 of them or whatever, it's just, oh my God, right? It's just, this is the grossest thing I have possibly ever seen in my life. And I mean, like, I'm sure you guys could talk about enjoying the story, whatever. I just aesthetically, I was completely turned off by it. And gore, hey, I'll watch a gorilla monster eat someone's face. That's fine. But I don't want to see roaches crawling around. All right, that's far more terrifying to me. So anyway, that's my take on it. I really have nothing else to say other than being just still shocked by how grossed out I was.
So what do you think of the X-Files episode there, Zach?
Yeah, the War of the Copenhagens. Yeah, so that actually kind of helped me conquer my cockroach fear to a certain degree, just the way they were presented in that episode, because it was a comedy, right? This was not a comedy. This was This is, oh my God. Oh, there are no words. Marcelo, please take it away.
Luckily, I don't have that phobia. That the fear of cockroaches like you do, Zach. Because I was just I don't know if I was eating it while watching this.
No.
I can't remember now, but I was casually watching it though. I was like, watching it, and then I'm looking down, writing something too. Looking back, oh, he finds a cockroach in his food. That's disgusting, I guess. I don't know. For some reason, I'm not that... I like the segment, though. But I wasn't disgusted by it, I guess. Well, okay. What gets me... And again, it's the effects that really work for me. Overall, in this movie, the effects are like the highlights. Mm-hmm. That final effect of the cockroaches like
coming out of his body.
Yeah, seeping through his skull.
No, it's so bad. Oh,
I think
God.
that's when I'm like, oh yeah, this is skin crawling. This is, so to speak. Yeah, that was like, oh yeah, I get it now. And yeah, okay, I'm not gonna get too graphic here, Zach. I'll save you from that. But yeah, by the end when all of them were out and about, yeah, effective. That's all I'll say.
Awesome. I this one too. Yeah, this one grosses me out. I don't like bugs. I don't dislike them as much as Zach dislikes them, but I definitely dislike bugs. I hate spiders, and I've been known to squeal once or twice when I've seen a spider in my house. But it's very effective in that I think bugs are a major fear for a lot of people, and I think that this would be terrifying for the majority of the people that would watch this film. But not only that. This guy is just a total dick.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And, where he's just like, this guy's on holiday. I don't care. Call him. I don't care that your husband shot himself in this takeover. He deserved it because he was dumb. He's just a terrible, terrible, terrible human being. And the highlight hero of it for me is the doorman.
Yeah.
So, just the way that he talks to him, he's like... Yes, sir.
Once again, greed, right? This guy, he's got a stock reports printing out and screwing people over business-wise. Greed is the through line of all these.
See, it was the 80s. Romero and King wanted just to take down the greedy sons of bitches in Wall Street. That's what they were going for in Creepshow. That's the theme. Take it to the bank.
Yeah. But, beyond that, beyond the gross factor, I don't got much to say on this last one here.
Yeah. It's fine. I think you kind of need a capper like this. If you have 5 stories, one that is not as... And I want to take a look at eventually, look back and see the structure of, other horror anthology movies and see... I think there's a common theme is what I'm saying. Maybe, the strongest chapter is, right in the middle, not the end. It's, right before. And I think that's the case here. A lot of people love The Crate. I think it is pretty strong. It is a good second to last... section, and if they had put it at the end, I don't think it'd be this. I don't think I'd feel the same way about this movie. Yeah,
well, I see what you're saying. We were building a structure of a anthology film is like building a lineup of some kind. But the only other one I can really compare it to, like I said earlier, is Twilight Zone the movie, and I feel like their last segment is the Nightmare at 20,000 Feet segment.
Oh yeah,
that's the best one. So
that's the best one. You're right. Yeah, but for the one, I think it's VHS or VHS 2.
Oh, that's what I think. I said Rec earlier, but I think I was thinking of that. I haven't seen it, but I knew there was one because you press record on the VHS.
Right? No, I know. I've seen the. I just call them the REC movies, but yeah, I gotcha.
But I forget which anthology, which one of the VHS movies it was. But the director of The Raid directed this cult segment in one of those anthology films, and that was an amazing segment that was right in the middle of that movie, and I think it worked really well being in the middle. And then the last segment in that movie wasn't as strong, but was a good finisher. So yeah, not necessarily all horror anthologies follow that rule. That I'm kind of just making up as I go along, but I like it here. That you don't want to close with the strongest one; you just want to close off with one that'll do the trick. That has enough gore that you won't be disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, one of the little Easter eggs that I like in the movie is that in between the segments, when you see the cartoon and whatnot, and it's kind of advancing the wraparound story, and they flip the pages, and upon rewatches, you notice that when they actually flip to the comic, flip through the book, and you see the ad for the voodoo doll, the clipping is gone in the middle of the movie as well, right? So you know that he's mailed away for it before the movie has even begun.
What a reveal!
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we've got this wraparound story where this kid has comics. His dad doesn't want him to have them.
Nothing worse than what you have in your underwear drawer, Dad.
So he treats him really bad, and I'm clearly thinking this guy beats his wife because she seems to be quite afraid of him. I'm sure he beats his child.
I liked all the toys. He had a bunch of Godzilla toys, like a Rodan hanging from the ceiling. And I liked all the toys, like an '80s kids room. Isn't that all where we all want to live forever, guys? That's real.
Yeah. And then he gets his comeuppance because the little boy bought a voodoo doll, and now he's stabbing his dad to death, which he deserves it too.
Greed.
Hey, There you go again. Well, I want to bring this up, a funny story that Tom Atkins, the guy who the actor who plays the dad.